Everybody, welcome to session 46 of New Horizons. And let's get going with our recap from last time.
We went on a shopping spree. Brother Nick slid me some credits, and I'm filthy rich now. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with all this money aside from something nice for the great people in my life. I grabbed a few things for them, and they did the same for me. Tersha in particular made these amazing desserts and even promised to teach me how to make a breakfast fry-up. Here are my notes on how to do that. First, you got to get all the stuff you want to put in it. The second step, you've got to magic the coffee. I haven't figured that part out yet, but allegedly you can skip this step. Step 3, you take the sausage and you put it in this big skillet, cooking it over medium-high heat until it's brown. Then you drain and chop all the pieces into bites and set everything aside. But make sure not to stab the mushrooms. You're supposed to slice them. It's very important. Step 3, burn your hands. Then say something that no one understands. Step 4, while the sausage is cooking, pour the eggs into the griddle, add the cheese, and cook until everything is pretty. Then serve it warm. I can't wait to try this myself. Without any supervision.
I was going to say, okay,
We're
I'm sure
going
we're
to
all
lose
looking
the
forward to
prunes.
that. It's probably somewhat well prepared for an onboard fire.
Why?
Roll for cooking.
Real life cooking skills do not translate.
No, they do not. Oh boy, I'm loving the recipes with that number cover art.
There's a
Nani?
cover art.
It's
Ethan,
good
you're so
times.
insanely fast.
He's entirely too meme literate. But anyway,
You did good.
um,
Good recap.
yeah, well recapped. Had kind of a casual session last week, and believe we left off with the crew hurtling down the highway in their little convoy of vehicles toward the capital. Their goal: chaos. Well, actually, I don't know about
I
I
mean,
was going to say controlled chaos.
that.
Nero
um,
and Kareem at the beach. How chaotic could that be?
Very.
It's okay. Our crew needs something to ship because otherwise they just keep shipping Cade with anything that breathes. So
True.
It
yeah,
is.
give them a distraction. All right. Well, the it's going to be quite a long drive. I'm trying to remember. I think you guys decided to spend the night at the ship or the ships so that you could get a fresh day's start
Yeah, I
and
remember
have.
Nero going out in the morning and rolling Bruce into a blanket.
Yeah.
an
Hmm.
accurate depiction of what happened.
There was some conversation, but that was the start of it.
It was some
Yeah.
very wholesome conversation, I will say.
Hmm. All right. So, you guys set off for the day, and it's going. The drive is going to take the majority of the day. You did very well in avoiding population centers and staying outside the range of the worst of the sensors and whatever other radars would be monitoring airspace. So, uh, you don't come across just an incredible amount of traffic. It's mostly mostly open highway with just the occasional bit of traffic. Um, as the day drags on, gets to be a little overcast, but luckily you avoid any inclement weather, which is fortunate since all your vehicles are open topped.
It is fortunate.
And yeah, you managed to make it to the capital uneventfully. Now you're rolling up at the outskirts of the capital city, uh, just a bit after sunset. Long day on the road, and with some pretty apparent rainy weather brewing off on the horizon, headed your way. The city is lit up, and even from a distance, you can see it is bustling. So you're come blazing in, and you're able to cross into the oh goodness, what's the city limits? Cross through the city limits with no trouble, no uh, interception of any sort. Um, there are there are armed guards, um, military looks like, posted up alongside the highway, but they just give you a look. There's no doesn't look like it's a checkpoint or anything. They just glance at you as you cruise on by. Uh, so, where are you headed, and what do you want to do first?
Well, were we going to have narrow meetup with Kareem? Oh, I'm sorry. No, we were headed to the store, the art shop. Hey,
Oh
Nero
yeah.
was going to sneak over some money, but I mean, I guess maybe
Mhm.
we were over planning for that. Is there any reason we actually have to sneak it over?
Um, relevant to that question, how many of the crew are currently metamorphed, and do we have? Uh, I know we have phony papers for everyone, but it would be good to know who is metamorphed, who is not, and if you had any particular personas in mind, it would be good to know that as well.
Um, I don't know. If we're going to the shop, do we need to be metamorphed? Like we've been doing business as ourselves in this town, right?
You had been, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lean
Well, I
towards
actually
uh,
let me clarify that. Um, in your own skins, but as phony identities that were given you by the Uralian government.
Right. What you
Do
said,
we
Robert?
have those?
oh, I was just saying I lean towards we don't need to use fake faces yet, so we probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we know if we do or not.
I think that's
It's my
why
Hmm.
that's why we're there was a little bit of time spent discussing somebody like going in first and seeing if they get caught. Then we
Oh
ended up
yeah, Java was gonna go first, I think.
yeah, we
Right?
ended up settling on Java, and that kind of it circled back around to that defeats the purpose because he wasn't with us the first time we were here.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're already inside the city now, so
All
I don't
right.
know. I
So,
think go back to our old identities, and if we get flagged down, then we just race off into an alley and metamorph. Easy peasy.
We just begin the revolution right then.
ooh, another great option.
I like that one too.
All right. So, sounds like the consensus is no
Oh,
metamorphosis for now.
I remember why Nero was going to sneak into do the whole sneaking thing to shop. She was going to go there first and sweep for any kind of security or bugs.
Mm.
Do we still want to do that, or are we kind of like past it now? Not past it, over it now.
I mean, I think I'm up for it if y'all are.
Okay. Why don't the four of you go get us a hotel, get us lodging, um, and drop Nero off a few blocks away from the art store, the art shop, and she'll go ahead and sneak over there and uh do a real quick check. Were we sending her with money for pay, or did we figure that out?
The pay has been getting handled.
Okay, good, good. So then, yeah, how's that sound to you guys? You four go set up lodging. Nero will sneak off.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And I don't mean just lodging, like do all the other things, the banking stuff, all the stuff that would bore Nero.
Yeah.
Rob
Um.
doesn't want to do banking.
It's
He wants to
time
go
for him to
fishing.
learn.
So, incidentally, that kind of brings us back to the topic of money. Um, there hasn't really, well, it's been a long time since we've had occasion to consider any of these sorts of living expenses because you guys have been living off of the ship.
Hmm.
Um, I think I would like for us to just use the lifestyle expenses, shortcuts in the book so that we don't have to haggle over hotel prices or rental car prices or
Yeah.
any other little incidentals like that. Um,
Yeah.
I like those. I've got some ideas swimming around in the back of my head about how to make those potentially more meaningful in the future, but for now, they just mean what they say. They have a general correlation to your standard of living, the amenities that you have access to, and that's good enough. Um, you guys, so you guys are just looking for a place to stay for the night, right? Nothing too fancy.
As long as it doesn't have roaches, we're good.
I mean, we could probably get that at the common tier at 15 a day. I would assume per person.
Yeah, yeah, these will be per person
Yeah,
kinds of expenses.
which is
Um,
not expensive.
no, that's not bad at all.
Just a quick question about that. Um, does common tier include transpo, like car rental and all that?
Rented personal vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would that basically, if we're all paying 15 each, would that basically mean that each of us has access to a vehicle at pretty much any point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want a rental vehicle that comes with all of those limitations, then sure thing.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Do we want to do for a whole week at a time
Yeah, probably.
or a month?
Um, let's not get out of hand. Let's just take it a day at a time for now. You guys don't even know if you're gonna be here for a day.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so you can all mark off 15 credits from your personal wallets and consider that you have a fairly decent little hotel room, and you've also got rented transportation if you choose to use it, ground cars.
Cool.
So, sounds like most of the crew is going off to go get all that stuff set up, while Nara goes solo to the art shop.
Mhm.
Now she's wanting to sneak sneak up here, try to uh, approach unnoticed. How does she go about that?
Um, well, she still knows the alleys. She might not remember off the top of her head, but she'll, the whole trained memory of it will flood back, and she's she'll do a walk by of it as just a person walking down the street, and make sure that she doesn't see anything suspicious through the windows. And then after she's walked by and a couple blocks down, she'll double back around behind it. And I remember that there was an alley going to a back door that was very lightly monitored.
Uh, yes, you're talking lightly monitors in not a lot of eyes on it.
Right.
There is some kind of security camera.
There was a
Uh,
security camera, yeah.
mhm, but
But if I remember right, it wasn't a security camera that was actually monitored. It was just basically a recorded camera that somebody could access later if they wanted to.
yeah, it's not like there are hired security watching it at all times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good angle to stay fairly unnoticed.
Okay. Want me to roll anything for that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a sneak check with
Alright.
Dex.
I'm always rolling with Dex.
That's the name of your podcast, right?
Wouldn't be a bad name for the channel. Always rolling with Dex.
Alrighty.
It could be the deck save. People could write into you with all of their DMing questions and you answer them.
Oh no. Somebody's rolled better than I have.
Right, so Nara's able to get in the back door with her key that we're and turn off the alarm, and you're in the storeroom.
Okay.
Now you were wanting to do a sweep for any bugs or other surveillance that might have been put in by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would be another sneak check, but not with dexterity this time.
Wisdom?
I think with wisdom. Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Okay. So Nara goes looking very carefully through the whole back room, doesn't find anything. Makes her way out into the front room of the shop. That she had already gotten a look walking by. I should have mentioned that there was nobody inside, no apparent movement,
Okay.
and in the dark, she knows she's not likely to catch any eyes out on the street. So she starts checking all the nooks and crannies, all likely spots. She comes upon one little bit of technology that is out of place. Feels like an audio bug that's been planted in the desk.
Hmm. All right. Um, can she see anything? Like, does it have any thing written near it? Is it?
Anything written near it?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying. She's trying to figure out if she's realizing a grievous error in her plan. She doesn't know if the people that were in the shop, the artists that we left here, might have done
Mm,
anything. She thinks that if she would want to plant a bug, then of course they would too. Um,
right, of course. Um,
it's only natural, right?
I mean, doesn't everybody? Um, no, only any reasonable person would bug their own shop. Um, there's nothing written nearby it. Nothing she can okay, get down under there and look, and doesn't see any sort of identifying marks, anything to indicate who put it there or why.
Okay. Um, I think she's just going to surge it.
Hmm. Okay, just try to basically disable or destroy it.
Yeah. I don't know if she's got the technical know-how to really control pulse and not destroy it. So she'll probably end up destroying it unless you deem otherwise. But she's thinking that
What she's trying to do.
she's trying to make it seem like there was a power surge or something that because it's got to be connected to power, right? Or maybe it's just got a little battery.
Yeah, it's probably uh, she can tell this sort of thing is going to have its own little power source of
Right.
its own.
That makes more sense. Hmm.
Yeah, she could override and disable if she were to succeed. That would most likely not destroy it unless she really wanted to just let loose. Uh,
Yeah, she'll try and do that.
okay,
She'll try and override and disable it.
all right. Go ahead and give me. Yeah, definitely another sneak check. I'm trying to think. I can't really see.
Charisma.
I don't remember what we used before.
We've used decks before, but they've been like
Okay,
big items that like doors that she could maneuver her pulse into.
got you. Yeah, get into the right spot. Yeah, with this sort of thing, I think just well, I don't know that it matters a great deal. Go ahead and just use dexterity.
Okay, that's funny. It
Ooh.
probably did matter.
It definitely mattered in this case.
I have
Um,
not been rolling well.
oh, yeah, you've been rolling fairly low.
Yep.
Um, all right, so he reaches under, carefully
Hey,
placing her fingers on the thing just so. Wills a
I'm
hello?
Mhm.
sorry. I need to go check on kids. I just wanted to let you know, and I just
Okay,
realized. Yeah, be right
got
back.
you.
Continue
Thank you.
though. Sorry to interrupt you.
You good? Um, she wills a bit of energy into the little matrix in her skin, and with a little bnt, she electrocutes the thing and is able to pry it off if she would like.
All right.
Sees the light go out on it.
She was still at fairly high system strength. She still had 4 left, and I don't think that's an error because we travel very fast.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
you guys had a couple of days of recovery since the whole altercation
mhm.
on the edge of the system, but yeah, not very many days.
Do you remember if you told us to heal up after our? Oh, you did. He did. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've got all system strain accounted for. Nero still needs to rest. Um, all right. Um, if that's the only thing that she thinks she's found, she'll
Hmm.
do we have private comms or are we on the grid right now? Oh, we've
Uh,
got burner phones. I think you
yeah,
weren't worrying us about that. Okay. She
yeah.
will
You guys have burner phones that are on the grid.
okay. All right. So with that in mind, she will leave the shop, lock it back up, um, go back out the back door. What time of day was it? Did you say? Nighttime?
It's like, yeah, nighttime.
Okay, and that's why there's nobody at the shop, unless they just abandoned
Hmm.
things. Um,
Nah, it looks like it's been kept clean.
okay. Um, and she will walk a few blocks and then get onto the phone um, and call the team.
All right. Saoirse is busy getting checked in for a room at the hotel and sorting out some little issue with the either the payment or the IDs, typical hotel stuff. So somebody else answers.
Okay, who is it?
Yeah, probably Cade. He'd be keeping an eye on comms.
Okay, the shop is clear.
Hey, Nero, what's up?
The shop is
Oh,
clear. There was a bug though.
that's not surprising. I'm sure competitor probably put it there.
Do you think it was one of our shop people?
Possibly, but I don't think that's likely.
Where do you want me to bring it to? I have it in hand.
I would just aside, Ben, would Cade be able to retrieve anything off of it now that it's toast?
No, she didn't toast it.
I don't think so.
It's
Oh, she
disabled.
didn't?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, okay, say, well, bring it to me. I'll see what I can find out.
Where are we staying?
Oh, 1 second. I'll text you the address. Got us an apartment or the equivalent.
Hmm.
Susha's just checking us in now. He'll text the address of the place they're staying at.
Okay. There's gonna Are there any street vendors that are just like closing up, or is it like night?
Um, yeah, no, it's still evening. Um, there'd be some places you could get stuff. There are gonna be restaurants and stuff, fast food as well.
She's looking more for the food truck style, something that's just on the street and she can just walk by and pick it up. Pay for it, obviously, but something she can just uh, get from a truck.
um, yeah, let's see. Go ahead and roll me a connect check.
All right. With dexterity.
No. Okay. She's not able to find anything right away. She wanted to. There are a few people walking along the strip, and there are other uh, a, a little nearby. There are other little busier areas that she could ask some people where the nearest food truck sort of place would be.
No, I don't think she's ready to ask people any yet. So if there's no trucks like in places that she remembered there being or thought she remembered there being, then
Right.
she'll stop by a convenience store or a fast food place. Honestly, whichever is comes up first. She is
Okay.
not picky about that.
Yeah, she'll find a convenience store. As she spends a little time hunting around in some spots she thought she remembered seeing food trucks before, uh, she does notice that foot traffic is a little heavier than she remembers, and seems like as starts driving back closer to the center of the city towards where the hotel for the night is going to be. Um, that starts noticing some people carrying signs and moving in a little bit larger groups.
She's still walking though.
Oh, is she still walking? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't think that she would have gotten her rental yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were asking about the rental because you wanted to go off on your own using the rental.
Oh no, no, I was just curious for future use. I also
Hmm.
noticed that the hover cycle is the same cost as a ground car, so could Nero have that instead?
Hmm. Hmm.
You can decide that later. For now, she's on foot.
Yeah, for now she's on foot. Let's see.
So yeah, that I think that'll actually grab her attention. She gets the food first, but then she while she's eating whatever convenience store microwavable like little chicken tenders or taquitos they have. She gets herself a little bag of those things, and she'll gravitate towards where she's seeing the people with signs.
Okay. Yeah, so she can start following along. If she let's see. Mm,
I should say that she
mm-hmm.
is looking to see, watching to see if anybody's following her. Now that I see the GM
That
rolling dice, it occurs to me that I should note that.
that is a good thing to note. Go ahead and give me a notice check
Okay.
with wisdom.
And it is reasonable for her to be doing that, considering she
Hmm.
was thinking that the shopkeepers themselves had put a tracker, had put a bug. She was thinking kind of like a baby monitor, honestly.
Yeah, it's and she is generally on the alert. She was worried about the possibility of being surveilled by
Hmm.
unfriendly forces.
Even has alert.
She does. So she doesn't notice anyone seeming to follow her specifically, especially not all the way from the shop or anything.
Okay.
Um, there are a good bit of people that are moving in the same direction as her, and she moves along. she notices a group up ahead, slowing down to a couple of them looking back at her, and one of them calls out, You need a sign?" And hefts an extra that he's carrying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's the temperature like around here? And to be less 20 questions about it, Nero is looking for an excuse to get a hoodie from someone or from a if there's a shop nearby, and try and obscure her features a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, it is a bit chill, and there's a you feels like there's a cold front moving in.
Okay. I think she'll realize that now that she's looking for an excuse to cover up because she doesn't notice that as as consciously as other people do, or as unconsciously.
Mhm.
She has to consciously think, is it cold? Um, and she'll try and put on a little bit of an act, and hug her bag of snacks to her, cross her arms. Uh, Yes, but it's cold out here. I don't know. Anybody get a hoodie?
All right. Give me a perform with charisma.
Hooray.
um.
I enjoy this extra because there was recently chatter in the Stars Discord, um, about optimal characters, and I just love rolling the skills that I have not focused in because Stars is great about that.
Mhm.
That could have succeeded, but it didn't.
Yeah. Um. The the guy kind of she can tell even in the under the street light he sort of rolls his eyes. Look, if you don't if you don't want to sign, you can just say so. Uh. He does hesitate a moment longer though, just to kind of wait, see how you react to that.
Okay, she'll reach out for a sign. Are they
All right.
milling about or are they on the move? Is this a walking conversation?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a walking conversation. He slowed down a little bit to kind of try to let you catch up.
Okay.
Maybe this was at a crosswalk or something. You're moving towards you're moving towards the center of the city, and out here the traffic is relative. The vehicle traffic is relatively sparse on the ground level. Um, some You can catch glimpses of cargo and stuff running below ground, and people moving around up at some of the higher tiers. But yeah, you're moving towards the more densely populated area, and you notice as you take this sign that it's painted in large letters, "No more wars."
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
that's something she can get behind.
All
Nera
right.
joins the crowd, nomming on her convenience store snacks.
Okay. We will fade screen to black as she marches off with a group of protesters, and see how it's going over at the hotel. Um,
This girl. uh,
I'm gonna queue up a text message for her to send once she's finished eating. She's gotta eat first.
Kate is hanging near the doors of the hotel, like the lobby, sitting in that area
Okay.
waiting for her to show up.
Nice. Let's see. So for our purposes, let's assume that Saoirse has, in the meantime, managed to successfully secure the hotel rooms, and she actually got. We'll just say she got you guys two, one for the guys, one for the girl. Um, and yeah, you guys are, most of you are hanging out, trying to decide what to do at this point. While you wait to hear from Nero. What's Brother Nick been doing to kill a little time while he waits for lodgings to be arranged?
Um, Nice. Could he be reaching out to his local contacts? Like that was part of our plan. Try
Yeah.
and see if there's any heat out for us.
Okay. And this is in your all-in trader identity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's how our all his Tabukan contacts. Yeah, I think are through that identity.
Okay. Yeah, most all of them. Um, all right. So give me a connect roll with wisdom.
And let me know when you think it's been enough time for her to have finished eating and sent that text, Ben.
All right.
Just
Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't know, puts out some feelers. Um, so you might have even stopped by one place on the way to the hotel just to rub shoulders briefly with, or sorry, rub elbows with people that you hadn't seen in a bit, and you are able to uh, stir up one hint that Esposito has been keeping his ears to the ground for any news that you're back in town since you bounced. And this particular contact tells you that he knows a couple people that they've been keeping Esposito up to date uh, every couple of days on that front.
I don't feel like we left too adversarial, but that would still concern Cade.
oh no, I think we've only been ramping things up every time we've come
Mm.
back with the
Yeah, he's
case we
kind of
just
like, okay,
hadn't
when's the other
bothered with
shoe?
you. Yeah. We've just had bigger fish to fry, I guess, the last couple times we've been here.
Yeah.
Would you guys like a brief highlights recap of the
Yes,
last
please.
time you met Esposito?
Yeah, why not?
Mhm.
Um, this is quite a throwback, so excuse me if I omit a few of the more interesting details, but anybody feel free to jump in. Uh, you guys, of course, had successfully tracked one of your some of your lost art pieces through him back to a fellow by the name of Yusuf. who runs an art museum, among other things, and had successfully riled up um, all sorts of things, gotten on Yusuf's bad side, and also butted heads a bit with Esposito himself. Um, the very last visit you made to Esposito's club involved some
Oh,
fairly aggressive bargaining, which he didn't take particularly kindly to, but you reached a sort of compromise and managed to restrain yourselves from murdering him and all his thugs. And then you left, uh, went back to your hotel for the night, only to discover a someone jumping out your window and
yeah, that was the
Right.
Sons of
Oh
Glory
yeah,
guy.
that immediately followed. Yeah.
led you straight into laying the ambush that snowballed into the rapidly accelerating timetable of your plan to attack the military base. So yeah, it kind of got overshadowed by the crazier, bigger events that happened right after it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember if that might have even been before we started recording sessions. I'm not extremely sure about that.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
think
it was
so.
before.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
because we still had Nick with us.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That was the teleportation Benny Hill fight.
Yes, it was.
Mm,
Oh, and when I got to jump out that window on a dude, that was fun.
yeah.
I
Like a
missed that part of the
three-story
session.
stick smacking.
Yeah, there was all sorts of teleporting around, trying to run people over in a car, and
That poor car.
successfully running some people over.
We annihilated that poor Honda.
I think I was actually sick for that session, and I missed that part of
Oh,
the
I think
fight,
you
and I
were.
came back, and
Mm.
it was a mess.
I
Yeah.
think we were at the end of that, like hiding behind the soon to explode burnout wreck of our getaway car.
Yeah, that's where I kinda rejoined it.
Yeah, you guys ended up having that vehicle disposed of by paying pretty hefty cleaner's fee to some
Mhm.
of Brother Nick's acquaintances. Yeah, so that was quite an exciting time in your tenancy on Book. All right, yeah. So back to let's see. Oh, I just saw Ethan's latest message. Um, yeah, you can reach out to him. You have a particular message you want to send him?
um,
This is
I was
for
trying to
Zachary,
decide if
though.
just to straight up back in town, but then again, he's gonna relay that, like even if we're on great terms, knowing that he works for Esposito. Well, Zachary's not gonna keep that from him. But I'm figuring he's my best way to. He's going to be our most direct gauge of Esposito. So I'm trying to decide if I want to poke that bear. y'all think? He's already gonna know we're in. That's probably something to sit on. The more I think about it,
I mean, I lean towards poke the bear, but sitting on it's also good.
because we probably do want to control the time and place
Yeah.
when Esposito starts looking for us.
Yeah.
And then the other one I was thinking of, that was my underworld criminal person.
Did you have a more specific question for her other than what you were already looking for?
Um, I think she mostly just knew the criminal stuff. I guess general heat out for us, and I guess kind of lay of the land too. I think last time I talked to her, she had that and the thing about more people having access to the Anagris and like that sector
Hmm.
maps. So I guess kind of that similar reach out again of specific about Esposito and general about any other new buzz in the criminal underworld since just getting back in town.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Go ahead and give me a talk check.
Charisma
Yeah.
and
She's initially a bit cagey as you try to
Oh
oh
wow.
pry
no,
some of that information out of her.
what? What?
Oh
Is this
boy.
diplomacy?
This is definitely diplomacy, so I guess
Okay.
just straight up roll it, just straight up click that again, because
Wow, that's some insanely.
that's a
I can't
three-eyed
believe
snake
Wow.
I
right
rolled
there.
straight ones.
3 straight ones,
Yeah,
I might
three
add.
straight ones.
Yes.
Good old diplomacy saving the day.
It's actually 4 straight ones because the last die on the previous connect was also a 1.
Oh yeah, I guess that was also
Oh,
the one that
man.
just got dropped.
Yeah.
Woo. Maybe I got out all my
Discord's
bad
in
luck
for
with one
us.
roll.
Oh man, this is a great time to drop some cyber ninjas on you or something.
Yes, please.
Oh.
Some
uh,
Mike Lindell comes out from a corner in the shadows. I've been looking for you, don't you know? Oh, that's a terrible
oh,
Wisconsin accent. I've driven off all our Wisconsin viewers.
yeah. Well, I guess A plus for that niche political reference. um, yeah, we roll ones on any skill check. Very nice. All right, so yeah, that'll work. It takes a bit of back and forth uh, in between all your other conversations uh, that you've got going on as you try to sync back up with some of your old uh, news sources. But what she'll eventually admit to you is that, frankly, Esposito's too hot for her to touch right now.
Hmm.
Ooh.
But as far as other goings on uh, in the criminal circles, there's a lot of chatter about the tunnel snakes. Uh, they've been making things more difficult for everyone because they've been stirring up a lot of trouble. Been inciting police and military presence to get ramped up in lots of places that were previously a lot safer to operate, particularly more remote areas. And there's a rumor that they actually recently lost a safe house close to the capital.
Oh, the tunnel snakes have?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah, so the general feel is that a lot of people are laying just a little bit lower than usual. I see what's how it's going to shake out. Looking for new haunts. I'll about sum up what Brother Nick is able to dig up with his contacts. Say that Dex, you can go ahead and send what Nara was cooking up for everybody.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
What I initially typed was basically just revealing to the world and anybody watching exactly where she is and what she's doing. And then I realized that we are using burner phones on the grid. She probably shouldn't do that. Um, unless is that something that you've established that we don't have to worry about, or do we have to kind of keep our uh, especially text transmissions coded while using these burner phones?
I have not established anything too specific about that other than the burner phones are not going to be theoretically able to be tied to you specifically as long as you don't use personally identifying information on them.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's about that.
I will need a little bit more time to properly code this for Cade and Robert to puzzle out. So
Uh,
Just
yeah, you're
the
gonna inflict me with narrow puzzle.
uh
I was gonna say, is this taking Narrow some time as she's realizing she's got to be careful to code this, or
no,
is
it's
this
me.
just
It's taken me time. I think
okay?
Nero would be more familiar with using coded language from her time on from her time in Rebellion.
Yeah.
So this is me taking time. But for your amusement, the message was going to be flat out be out late, join the protest march, no more wars, and all the fun and shenanigans that everyone would have responding to that.
Mm.
Huh.
um, so yeah, right now I'm just trying to think of foods that Nero equates or Nero thinks the group would equate with fighting.
That's funny. Um. All right. So let's see. It leaves us Java and Cade.
Kind of know what I want Java to do.
Got it.
All right. What's that?
He wants to use this big, masculine, super large frame to put on the guise of being a bounty hunter and mix it up with the rough and tough type to see if he can learn anything else the party might want to know. For instance,
Okay.
like, do we have bounties? Are there any people actively engaged in looking for us that maybe we can dig up some more information on? Things like that. Um,
Okay. So you say you're looking for of course anything on the crew, but also for any bounties that might be out there.
yep, information like that.
Okay.
We don't have to play it all out, or if you want to, we
Yeah.
can. But
I say go ahead and at least give me a connect check with either charisma or wisdom. You can say he paid a visit to a bar, maybe even at the same time as Brother Nick.
as long as it's with the seedy types.
Mm-hmm. You
Ooh,
betcha. All right. Well, so he does some elbow rubbing and doesn't manage to stir up any information about the party. Uh, though he does draw some attention for asking questions about you know uh, terrorists and terrorists on the lam and all that.
Just point
But
of order to clarify, like he is trying to create the impression that he is looking for work.
yeah, he would also he'd also ask around about some bounty work and gets a couple he's directed there are a couple public notices um, that are for fairly small timey criminals, but ones that have somehow managed to evade uh, arrest so far. And there's one that's not put out by the Tabukan police, but by the Ad Astra Corporation that is something to do with corporate espionage. You know, it's got a much larger price tag on it, but no details. It's by by interview only.
Interview, you say?
Hmm. Yeah, there's a number on the listing.
He pulls off one of the tabs that lists the number, takes it with him.
All right. Oh, Jesus.
Was that what you were typing there, Robert? What the heck is a bear run?
Actually, I waited for the beer run, but
Okay.
he would have fixated on the Twinkies. Like, what? What's wrong with this woman? Kind of thing. She's going for Twinkies.
Yeah. This is great. This is totally gonna backfire.
Yeah, he's totally face palming.
So it sounds like we've kind of established Saoirse and Cade were at the hotel getting things arranged, set up for everybody. Brother Nick and Java were at a bar, trying to uh, get a finger on the pulse and figure out what's going on in town. And Naba narrows off, of course, doing her thing. Give me just a minute here. I'm My office is just well insulated enough that I cannot hear goings on elsewhere very well. So
Okay,
just make sure Danielle doesn't need any backup. So let me take 5.
sure.
I should have had Java fight someone in the bar. He would have rolled better.
Get into that combat early.
Maybe just challenge him to an arm wrestle or something. Like, I beat you in this arm wrestle. You tell me the best bounty you got because I'm here to make money.
Oh, that Ad Astra one sounds interesting.
I mean, he took the phone number. He doesn't know what it means. He's going to ask Kate for sure. Corporate bounty put on woman. Wanted for corporate espionage.
No, it's probably Arlen. The evil robot lady.
Yeah, she still creeps me out.
Nero still doesn't like her.
Taking the sword.
Yep. um, Robert, do you want to know what the code here is? And let's decide if Cade would figure it out.
Yeah, I would like to know the code.
Twinkies are only available on Tabuk.
Right.
Um, she's substituting Tabukans for Twinkies.
Ah. And the beer run / bear run.
Those were just legitimate typos. Autocorrect, basically.
Okay.
And I think Cade would probably be used to her not texting very not texting very carefully. You know, when the autocorrect
Yeah.
changes something she's texted, it usually gets through as whatever it auto wronged.
Yeah. Yeah, any more I call my phone's feature auto incorrect because it does that all the time.
Yeah. I like the
Yeah,
flow of
okay.
auto wrong.
Auto wrong is pretty good. Yeah, Kate would probably figure out that she means Twinkies and Tabukins are the same.
Yeah. We've got the rainbow unicorn snack cakes. It was a Snickers on Anagris, I think it was. I should
Yeah.
actually put that down. Anagris was Snickers. And then the special rice cakes at that pre-tech facility. Yeah. I have to admit, I think that the straight up join the protest would have been funnier because I just think the face palming reactions would have been more entertaining to me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Yeah. I
What
have a
not to do in
feeling.
the laboratory? Get
Yeah,
involved in a
exactly.
protest.
you were
What
breaking
not
up a
to
little
do
bit.
in a totalitarian world.
Right.
Immediately get involved in a protest.
Uh,
Hello, I'm back.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Oh, I was to say Back in Black. Different song. It's me, Mario.
Oh, that SNL skit was great.
That it was. All right, so looks like it sounds like you guys got the miscommunication sorted out. Um, all the logistics have been arranged, and I guess Brother Nick and Java have about finished up what they were trying to accomplish at the bar.
John was talking about arm wrestling. So.
Oh, well, I stand corrected.
I mean, if you want it, you're gonna get it. Nah, we're good. We're good. We can keep things moving.
Yeah, probably.
He
Avoid that.
doesn't quite have to be bodily dragged away from an arm wrestling contest.
Not quite.
Mhm. All right. So, yeah, as the 4 out of 5 of you are meeting up, um, you are noticing a bit of foot traffic that most of which is headed towards the city center.
Ooh, if we pass by the hotel, the Nero will slip in real quick and pass off the device.
Yeah, Nero could be passing by around at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, she'll send a quick text to Cade. Uh, just I guess just come outside.
Mhm.
Okay. Cade like walks outside looking down at his slab, like, what the? Glances up and sees like a bunch of people walking by and is
Oh,
like,
oh! Can I change that?
okay.
She says, "Come outside. Bring hoodie."
Bring hoodie.
Yeah, it is a fairly chilly evening, and by now you can see rain is approaching quickly. It's supposed to start raining in the next few minutes.
Okay, well, Cade would come out dressed in the hoodie and be looking around like, where are all these people out here? Nero, where are you? Like,
Nero will.
obviously using whatever her cover name is, but still.
Hmm. Yeah, Nero will scurry up. You're wearing my hoodie.
Oh. Well, this is my hoodie, but I guess you can use it. And I'll take it off and hand it to her.
All right, and she'll pass the bug to him as she's taking the hoodie. All smooth like.
Okay, thanks.
And make sure that he realizes that she's put it in his hand.
He'll realize that.
I imagine he would. Like, I think he would, but Nero is making a point of it.
I mean, if
Mm.
she's gonna like sleight of hand it, she could possibly fool him on that. But
No, she wants to grab his hand, not in a like attention grabbing way, but hold on to it just a little bit longer than she needs to, and like squeeze to press the device into his palm. Like she's clearly doesn't think that he is keen on all this exchange of illicit goods thing.
no, I see. He'll just kind of hold it out, look at it, and be like, "Huh, thanks. Stay out of trouble," and then just walk inside.
Nero puts on her hoodie, covers, makes herself a lot less easily recognizable, and rejoins the protest march. She is primarily here. She's obviously she wants to she does support this cause, but she's primarily wanting to listen in to whatever conversation is going on that isn't just, did you see what Becky did last week?
All
No.
right. How's the rest of the crew reacting to this situation?
I mean, Cade just kind of shrugs and is like, "It's just narrow's gonna narrow."
All right.
But at this point, he's used to not understanding why she does something random like this.
Yeah. What about Java? Or Ethan, you got what Brother Nick is thinking here?
I think Brother Nick's gonna try his unaware old man routine to see if he can get info from the crowd. So I guess after saying Nara, he'll kind of separate from the group, and he'll look more like he's having to lean on his walking staff,
All right.
old and doddering, and say, he'll motion to some passersby in the crowd and say, "Oh, hello there. What seems to be going on this evening?"
All right. Give me a perform with charisma.
Oh no. Do I have any this is when the ones come back. All
Not
Okay.
right.
bad.
Woot.
Not bad. Good nat 10, baby. Yeah, you get a couple that will stop for you, and one girl says, "Yeah, we're gonna go and show them what we think. It's, we're building momentum. It's great. The government will have to listen eventually. We just have to keep it up to let them know how many people are tired of the warmongering. We just want peace. Got enough problems at home." And she's getting animated. She's noticing your walking stick. Are you out here to join us? Don't seem like in great shape to be doing marching exactly. We might be getting roughed up a little bit. I hope.
Oh, I was just out for my evening stroll, but fight the power, dearie. And he'll pull out a scarf. Do take this. It's chilly out.
She she takes it. She gives you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. She says, "That's just wonderful. It's not many of the older generation that are supporting our cause." And she grasps both his hands and just gives him this sincere look. Thank you, thank you. And she'll wrap the scarf around her neck, and she'll run back off to join her group of friends.
Okay, and then yeah, I guess he'll keep up his doddering act back to the group. Let them know and say, seems there was joined anti-war protest.
And Java.
Oh, did Java?
Java joined it.
Oh, that protest walk by him, that looked like way more fun.
There's probably arm wrestling where they're going.
I mean, he
Yeah,
probably wandered off screaming something about New World Order.
Oh no.
So yeah, as Brother Nick is relaying this, the three of you realize that Java's not there.
Oh no. It took us all of 15 seconds to fall into chaos.
So what does the captain have to say about all this?
I want to imagine that the captain is muted because she is screaming her head off.
Also, I guess we should clarify, we have burner phones, right? So, like,
Yeah.
y'all can reach him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they hooked him up. All right. Sounds like Danielle might not be there at the moment.
She's gonna have fun coming back to this.
Yeah. So Brother Nick and Kate are free to make their own decisions at the moment.
Kate's just gonna sit down in the foyer of the hotel and see if he can get some info off of this bug.
Okay. So he does realize. Let's see. Mhm. Okay. It it is still powered down. It's not sure exactly how long the whatever Narrow did to it is going to keep it out of commission, but um, you guys know it's going to need to be powered up for him to be able to access whatever he needs to get off of it. Does he want to go
Yeah.
ahead and try to reset it, or just wait?
I mean, is it just like your average basic audio bug?
Yeah, with with a little bit of sci-fi mumbo jumbo attached to it as well.
Yeah, so he probably would just reset it.
Okay. Um,
I
y-
think, especially in Stars Without Number, this isn't something you could access across the planet. You'd have to be relatively close.
yeah, I mean it's depends. It's not going to be um, yeah, it's not going to be able to operate too close to QACM, but um, it's possible that it could be broadcasting, but like you said, not very far.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead then. Go ahead and boot it back up, and assuming he's gonna use his black slab to try to crack this thing.
Oh yeah.
What kind of information is he wanting to get out of it, or what is he wanting to do with it?
Um, I guess he would want the question answered. Who is this sending information to? If not who, then like what's the destination of the information? Um,
Okay.
and secondary priority would be to like retrieve the last recordings in case that there might be something there for him to pay attention to.
Okay. Yeah, you could do those as two separate things. I would keep the difficulty down for the two for the first one particularly. So let's see. This is gonna be DC of 9.
Okay, if I remember right, the black slab gives him a +1 or a +2. Just double
Yeah, plus
checking.
1.
Yeah, okay.
So this will be your first asking where the information was being sent.
Right. And then 3d6 for hacking.
All right. That'll get it. Um,
Cool.
and yeah, looks like it was relaying data to some sort of device that was judging by the coordinates he's able to decipher from the data he pulls. Was relatively close to the art shop. Um,
Okay. Does he have enough information to like make an attempt to find it?
um, if
Like
he
if you
knows where it was planted, then yeah, he could use the data he's got to extrapolate the spot because it was uh, kind of relative positional data.
Okay.
Um, did Narrow? I didn't catch what all Narrow passed along about it. Um,
Not much.
but
No, not
if
much.
that's something, if he could ask that, get that from her, then
Oh, what was you looking for?
where
Um,
exactly in the shop it was planted?
Oh, yeah, she can relay that easy enough.
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, you'd be able to identify. There's a spot. It's just a couple buildings down, or sorry, a couple like shops down up on the rooftop.
Okay. And then I guess the follow-up question of pulling the last couple of recordings off.
Okay. Yeah, let's see.
I think that's still like the same kind of roll +2 for hacking again.
Let's see. Mm, yeah, since you're not getting very much information, it'd be the same thing. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and I technically should have made that other one more difficult since this is not a planned hack. Uh, so
Mm,
let's see.
okay.
So that would actually make this one a 12.
Isn't it only +1 per additional hack?
It is, but the other one should have been an 11.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha.
yeah. The +2 for it being rushed already.
Oh, you said I defaulted to thinking the other one was an 8. You said 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Means I need to hit at least a 13, I think.
No, you just need to hit a
Okay.
12 or higher.
All right.
Yeah, in the hacking system, a lot of the rolls trend pretty
Wow.
high unless
Really?
you're very well prepared. Ooh, yeah, that was a pretty low roll.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna re-roll that.
do note that the prepared, I thought you could spend 10 minutes to avoid that penalty.
Let's see, is it just 10 minutes?
Yeah, the +2 modifier for an unplanned hack is if you're rushed, but if oops, I went way
Oh,
too
if you're
far.
not taking the extra time. Yeah, if
He's got nowhere to be, so he would be taking the extra time.
oh, okay, well, maybe that's why I didn't think to add it in the first place. Because he wasn't actually rushing. So yeah, 11 will cut it
Okay.
and can pull last couple recordings and can start listening through them to see if there's see what sort of information this person might have been pulling.
Sure. And he'll deactivate the device again and like stick it in a trash can.
Okay.
And then pull out his earbuds and start listening to the recordings.
Alrighty then.
Making note of what he got.
Oop. And let's see then. So that leaves us with brother Nick. After he reported to Saoirse and Cade here in the lobby, what was he gonna do?
I guess if there's still people passing by, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess probably keeping track of the crowd from there, and then following along with what Cade's doing.
Okay.
I think he'd be thinking about joining. They got to pick up Nero and Java at some point. That's probably good to see what all these protesters are up to.
Okay. So he's thinking about it. Yeah, meanwhile, we'll get back to Narrow. Let's see. For simplicity's sake, could we suppose that Narrow and Java would have met up s- not too long after Java decided to join the protest that Narrow was getting involved in?
I think Nero would prefer not to. They don't exactly have the same goals here, I don't think.
Oh,
Nero's
I
trying to be
didn't realize there were goals
incognito.
to be had.
Oh yeah,
No.
no, Nero's trying to be incognito. That's why she wanted the hoodie. She's just trying to blend, carry a sign, and follow along, and listen in on what conversations she can find. She's kind of trying to sniff out who the various ringleaders or people of influence in this crowd are.
Hmm.
At the same time as listening for news, warnings, past, if they're talking about other things that have happened, things, how the Tubukans have reacted. Hearing Becky say that she was looking forward to being beaten up. That's good information too. By the way, that character's name is Becky now. Um,
Okay. Good to
I'll
know.
agree with that. I think Java probably would have tried to clock Narrow, but maybe kept just eyes on her at a distance while enjoying the protest.
All
yeah.
right.
Is
This
that
could be a
something?
Narrow scene. Java's just doing protest stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well then, in that case, Narrow is trying to sort of go with the flow in the crowd and just be near conversations that are happening. And you can you gather from the conversations going on that the plan, such as it is to go and gather inside the spaceport.
Hmm.
And there was some people had there'd been some news that there's another ship planning to take off sometime tonight to go and join the war effort on Urala. That there's been a big push recently to wrap that whole conflict up. Of course, there's been lots of pressure from the people, and seems like the emperor himself is not pleased with how slowly it's been going.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
these people are planning to go protest this, and maybe even they manage. There wasn't a specific time announced about when troop convoy or anything was going to be moving, but they're hoping that maybe they'll be able to catch it. Apparently, some sort of network going on that they've got some people watching the outskirts of the city. They're going to get some texts whenever if any military vehicles are spotted.
Okay. She is looking for those people that seem to have the deeper connections, like the people that'll be getting those texts from the
Hmm.
scouts. You want me to roll like a notice or a sneak check for that?
You can spot them without
Oh,
you
awesome.
can make them out without too much trouble. You've done enough to make yourself blend in with this crowd. Now, are you wanting to kind of sidle closer and be able to listen to those people particularly without being noticed?
Yeah, and if she can, take pictures of them for Brother Nick.
Okay, so that would definitely require some sneak check.
I figured. She makes certain that her phone's
And
camera
this will
is
be,
not on flash.
yeah, this will be sneak with wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So she sort of moseys her way through the crowd as they're all moving. Managed to get close enough to this one guy who seems to have several people kind of gather around him that he seems to be doing more of the talking. Um,
Hmm.
and as she gets close enough, she catches that he's, he's kind of trying to remind them of some of the things to watch out for. Um, some of the things that they'll need to do if they start getting arrested, or if the riot police show up and start responding. Um, doesn't doesn't sound like from this guy there's any plans for violent protest. Um, in fact, he warns them to keep on the lookout for anybody stirring up more trouble and point them out to him. Uh,
Okay.
and she
Sh-
manages to get a picture of him that she can pass on to Brother Nick
Yeah. She doesn't
and the
want
other
to.
people close to him.
Okay. She doesn't want to actually engage any of them. She just wants to, at this point, now that she's kind of gotten this, she's just gonna uh ride this out. I take it back. She is, I think, going to call Brother Nick. Uh, Separate from this group a little bit. Call him and try to have a hushed conversation with him.
Okay.
So, ring ring, it's Nero.
Yeah. Hello, Nero. Are you having fun at your anti-war protest?
I found a guy that's uh, kind of controlling. Um, Hang on, what word would she be using here? Um, I guess just one of the front runners. I found one of the front runners. I'll get you a picture. They're talking about a ship that they're gonna protest taking off.
Okay, so yeah, I'll see the picture, and I guess realizing you should be more subtle on, even if it's a burner phone, than talking in a hotel lobby. Let's see, oh, that's great. Glad you're, making new friends and, seeing the sights. Just don't, party too hard.
All right. Yeah, she just wanted to basically just wanted to notify brother Nick um and Saoirse so that if they wanted to look up what ship was possibly taking off, um, and if we wanted to do anything about it, we at least have a bit of advanced information.
Hmm. that you do.
Um, yeah, I guess do some good old open source intelligence on this ship. Can Brother Nick find anything? Poking around on the news sites.
Um, what he could find just looking publicly would be really no more than what Nero has picked up from on the street here. Um, in fact, there seems to be just a couple details that Nero told you that you weren't able to even corroborate. Um,
Yeah, so
you know
she's
that,
gonna have a better. I'm wondering
yeah.
if he should go follow the opposite routine. If I can go find like a military bar and play the old man routine, but this time be the far
The
right
army sympathizer.
authoritarian.
Mhm.
These kids.
Ruining our great country. Um, so you do know that if that's a possibility. You might be able to squeeze some information out of somebody like that. Um, if you wanted to find more specific information, you would probably need to go to the starport or some sort of military operation and either do some social engineering or some possibly uh, hacking to get greater details. All right, so um, as the rain rolls in and everybody starts getting a bit damp, the protest group that Nero and Java are around make it to the spaceport and join up with what seems like a growing crowd that is definitely in the hundreds. And it's by no means quiet, but it seems relatively calm at the moment. A lot of people chanting things, waving the signs. Um, nobody has nobody's breached any sort of gone into some sort of place where they're not supposed to be yet. Kind of all gathered on the sidewalks. There does seem to be a heightened police presence and a bit of military presence as well at the spaceport itself. You're at one of the kind of large uh, street entrances to the port, and traffic is continuing kind of at a normal pace in and out. But seems like the police were ready for something like this. They've got some kind of token barricades set up just to try to keep people contained and out of the street. Um,
Mhm.
and it looks you start hearing some chatter about that you know maybe somebody's going to come and speak to the crowd. Uh,
Does it
that everybody needs. Hmm?
does it sound like somebody is going to come and speak to the crowd to try and tell them, "Hey, this war is good, please disperse," or to rally their spirits?
It has the feel of somebody rallying them.
Okay.
And yeah, so the mood kind of gets a little bit electrified. People start getting more energetic, and a ripple comes through the crowd. Some few minutes later, uh, whispers of "He's here."
T Snake.
Kill him with thunder. Yeah, and then Nair's able to see not too far from where she's standing. Seems like somebody brought a step stool or something, because a head and shoulders are now elevated above the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
A familiar face, Mr. T Snake himself.
Ooh.
Venenoso. The leader of the cell that you had dealt with before.
Wait, he has a name?
Yeah, you guys didn't remember his name?
Uh,
He
Nope.
didn't tell
I
us
Oh.
the
don't
name.
remember
Like, he
his
was being
name.
real cagey last time. He never told us the name.
I,
So we
I
had to call him Mr. T Snake.
well, I think you guys eventually asked, but it's like he didn't introduce. He didn't just like come right out with it. He ended up giving you basically like his. It's essentially his gang name. Um, let's see. I wonder if I don't know if I would have put it in the. It doesn't look like I put it in the chat, so I guess it didn't count, even if I said it out loud. Here, I'll type it in now. There we go. Officially in the Discord chat. And he's sporting a fairly fresh looking scar on the side of his face. Hmm. And um, I'm going to refrain from getting into character. For, for spoiling up the gravitas of the moment with my with my allegedly Octonauts imitating accent.
A legend? A legend?
Where's the meme,
Um,
Ethan? Where's the
does,
meme?
he does not begin his speech with flappity fleepers. Um, but he, he honestly, as far as rousing public speeches go, it's pretty short and to the point. Oh, I forgot you had made that. Oh boy,
what?
that's the good old Fallout tunnel snakes with Peso's head photoshopped on it. For those who might just be listening in.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah. So his speech is pretty much the point. Talks a bit about how the government has been clamping down on any dissenting voices, anyone who opposes uh, outright conquest and meaningless war is shoved down and silenced. And this this government is just greedy for power, gobbling up everyone they can. They'll use any means necessary. Um, and he goes even on a bit of a tangent about how Taiwan and the Ardietso system was was supposedly rescued from its natural disaster that occurred, or I guess industrial accident that plunged the planet into a climate crisis. But now most of his people are scattered uh, and put to work to feed the war machine of Tabuk. whatever planet they find themselves on there. They have little option but to labor. Labor for the man. And it's enough. Tabuk's glory was greater than that. It was more than military power. It was in the shining excellence they showed to the sector. It's in the strength of their character. Tabuk should return to those glory days instead of chasing after some perceived glory. So no more wars. And starts up the chant. And with that, the crowd is in unison chanting. And once he's got the chant going, he shouts over the chant. They're going to send more soldiers tonight, but not on our watch. We'll show them what we think of that.
Boy.
And then, amid the shouts, Nero can barely make out that her her little, I guess, sort of protest officer that she was monitoring
Call him her
looks down at his
mark.
phone. Yeah, her mark.
Mhm.
Picks his phone and then starts yelling at people nearby. Um, yeah, it's convoy has entered the city, but it's coming in at the other entrance. Next next one over east. We need to get moving. And about the time that the few around you start moving that way, you're noticing a shift, and the crowd is moving. They push through the barricades. They're not parts of them that are not really being guarded so much because
Mhm.
they're not moving towards the spaceport. They're just moving alongside the front of it, and um, you can see the police and the the few soldiers that are uh, guarding back towards the entrance of the spaceport are actually looking a bit nervous, and a couple of them are clearly on comms reporting something. And in just a few short minutes, the crowd has moved to another entrance of the spaceport and is moving to block the street, block the entrance to the spaceport. Let's see. Anyone openly recording this? There are, yeah, there are a number of the people who have gathered who have their compads and stuff that they're recording with.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, great. So yeah, she recorded that, and as the crowd mood shifts, she calls everyone and just puts her comm in her ear, um, puts the phone in her pocket, and just kind of leaves the comm open.
okay. Yeah, and as you're moving, you notice that there's a there's a like a reporter team that had that had gotten set up and is now kind of scrambling to keep up with the movement of the crowd.
Yeah. She'll whisper to our team updates on where we are and where she thinks we're going.
All right.
And it's occurred to me, um, we should probably start keeping a comm server with us. That way, we don't have to be so careful about what we say over comms, and we can just have our own private network. should function well enough within the limits of the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, the burner phones are great for contacting people outside of our comm server, but yeah, let's start giving ourselves the ability to just kind of keep open comms, open secure comms.
Yeah.
What a beautiful paradox. Um,
Right?
yeah. So you can tune everybody in, and I assume Java is continuing to go with the flow of the crowd, and
Yeah, he met another guy named Nick.
oh, cool.
Jim. Oh, cool.
uh, what's this guy Nick up to? How's he? Is he pretty excited about this protest?
He doesn't really have any other options. He's on, he's having a hard time with life. He's actually homeless and wearing
Oh,
3 shirts, and it's got a pretty sad story. But Java's trying to help him, make the most of it.
oh,
All right.
just turn it into a hallmark.
uh, what is it? The homeless guy and the off-worlder, the unlikely pairing.
If it matters, the shirt on top is orange.
Mm, perfect hobo color.
I've put too much thought into this. You can resume the important thing.
It's good to establish relevant details. We're establishing the setting.
I think I can still see Narrow, but I'm really worried about Nick.
Yeah, and he looks like he needs somebody to worry about him. He does not look too hot. Um, looks like he's short at least a couple meals. But yeah, he is doing his best to chant along with the rest of them. And you can see in his eyes that he does he does feel this strongly. Get the feeling there may be some specific reason why that is. If you were able to get him to talk about it.
I'm gonna give him rice cakes.
He is uh he is brought to tears, though it's a little hard to tell how many tears because of the rain, but
It's a
he's
good thing it's
scarfed.
raining because I don't have a drink.
Yeah, he scarfs those slightly softened up rice cakes down uh, like they are nectar of the gods.
I mean, in this faux narrative I've created, um, I mean, if he doesn't openly start telling me about his opinions about this protest, Java's just worried about him and his well-being.
Okay. Yeah, he's a little bit too busy chewing and swallowing at this point to spill his life story, but uh, Java can tell that uh, he's definitely winning this guy over. Let's see. So the rest of the crew getting this update that the protest is now moving to intercept a military convoy. Uh, anything else you guys would like to do, or are we relaxing at the hotel?
Did we establish previously that Cade has a way to reach out to his dad semi-anonymously, or is he gonna need to acquire a burner phone or something?
He knows his dad's number. He's got a burner phone he could use to call his dad. I don't think there was any others, anything more specific than that established.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe Cade'll see if the hotel sells burner phones, but Otherwise, I'll wait on that.
Is he? So you're not wanting to use the burner phone that you were already using?
Yeah, if the police sees Nero and get her phone, then the number he has is linked to Nero.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't want that
Gotcha.
to automatically be linked to his a call
Yeah.
to his dad.
Yeah. Um. Let's see, I'd say. I mean, that's not a particularly difficult thing to get your hands on. It's not like you
I
have to
mean,
buy
but
a
it's also
specific
night.
kind of phone. Yeah, it is night. If anything, that makes it easier, especially with Brother Nick on hand. Um, I'd say that given Brother Nick's uh, abilities, it's not really worth uh, worrying too much about how he would acquire another one. Just that it would take him a little bit of time.
Okay.
If he would be if he's up for taking like 1 or 2 hours uh, to just go and acquire a phone for kid to use.
Yeah, he would ask Brother Nick saying, "Hey, can you get me a separate burner phone? I need something that's not tied to what Nero's doing." Talk to my father, see if we got Ahmed squared away.
All right.
Yeah, let's go for it. I was thinking if I use my connected focus, how many burner phones could I get a hold of in one go? If I
Okay.
have a web of contacts willing to do favors for me that are no more than mildly illegal,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to
You
get a
can get.
box of track phones or something.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely, if you wanted to just stock up, you could get a case. Uh, say a dozen of them or so. Um, let's see here. What's a ballpark reasonable price for a dozen burner phones? Mm, I'll say since you're burning a use of your focus for it, that the favor they'll do for you is that they'll give you close to market price. Um, only charge you 1,500 credits for a dozen of them.
Oh. Yep. Let's get ourselves a comm server.
Do I have? Yeah, he'd do that. That solves our
Okay.
burner phone problem for a while.
Can he also buy a comm server?
I mean, we have one with the ship.
I know,
Or,
but it's over there.
I mean, that's true.
And I don't think Dex wants to give up keeping that with the ship whenever you guys are off ship.
I mean,
That's
It's like
fair.
yeah,
get on a network of comm servers.
it is great being over there. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, at least the damage is done just by the association of Nero with the group and then talking about it. So, like, he would need a separate phone anyway, just to keep that compartmentalized.
I mean, with burner phones, you really
Yes.
kind of want them to be individual for one number, anyways, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess limit your web of people you talk to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we definitely need to equip ourselves with a comm server so that we can just have our own communications and use the burner phones for the specific external contacts that we want to be able to burn our phone.
As a verb.
Yes, a phrasal
So
verb.
yeah, some of the best kind. That brings me back to your question in the chat, Dex, about the events thus far having been different if she were wearing her normal weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you're talking like multiple visible uh, weapons, monoblades, and stun batons.
Yeah, she's now only typically carrying a single monoblade and 2 stun batons.
Okay.
But it's entirely reasonable that she wouldn't have on this excursion, um, to be low key, uh, going into the city. Well, not going to the city. We're already there. Going to the shop because all of this follows from her going to the shop. She hasn't had
Mhm.
a time to change her equipment since then.
Yeah. I mean, she'd have had. She could have potentially dropped off stuff with Cade, when stopping by the hotel briefly, if she wanted to. I'd say the weaponry. Well, let me let me ask it this way. Um, do you think she would have been wearing, monoblade and a couple stun batons and or visible armor?
No, I don't think she'd be in the visible armor. She's gonna be in her secure clothing.
Okay. All right then. But she would have a monoblade and a couple stun batons.
Yeah. Uh,
Okay.
but I want to follow the narrative. So if it would have changed anything with her being equipped that way, then I'm happy to have her, equipped down with like maybe a knife and a stun baton.
Okay. Um, no, I mean it wouldn't have drawn undue attention.
We are on Tabuk
The
after all.
Yeah, monoblade maybe a little bit. It would have drawn a bit more attention, but not enough to just, make her stand out like a sore thumb in the crowd.
Okay.
Just would have had a minor impact on how people glanced at her and took note of her.
And she would
Um,
try to snug that into the hoodie as well as she can.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, keeping it close.
Little.
Um, let's see here then. Mhm. Okay. So, crowd is into the street. Uh, they've blocked it, and Mr. T Snake himself is not anywhere to be seen right now. Um, but the crowd is unified. They're electrified, and you can see that the police and military presence on the starport side is increasing slowly but steadily. Another kind of troop vehicle rolls up, and people file out. And you hear the distant sound of sirens drawing nearer to the spaceport.
Okay. Now, I don't want to interrupt the conversation that's going on in Roll20, but at some point recently, Nero has opened or tried to open a open call to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cade will have it like
Okay.
in his other ear.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
think sounds like they're texting.
okay. And she does. I mean, she's relaying what she sees and where she thinks things are happening and where she sees things are happening. And at this, I think at some point she asks, "What do you want me to do?" Um, she'll add to that a couple seconds later. Do I stay here or do I just watch?
I mean, I feel like Cade would have let somebody else speak up.
Was this in a chat? Was this in like a phone
Group
call?
call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nero's basically gone into we are in an active engagement mode.
Saoirse would encourage her to not get involved, but she also knows that Nero will most likely get involved. So
Java's probably gonna walk up with his new friend Nick and say we can't go because these are good people.
um, let's see, what does Nero think of this Nick character? Very obviously homeless.
um. Well, she feels a slight pang of guilt at the fact that her first and most immediate thought is, I'm glad I finished eating all my snacks.
Mm, feel
Nero's
the guilt.
Nero's not always nice. It's only very slight, very slight little guilt there. Um, but she looks from Nick over to Java. We might have to.
Can we take them with us?
And you're both getting jostled a bit by the crowd at this point. It's gotten, gotten very crowded as well.
Never
Okay.
mind. That's a ridiculous idea. We should just leave. But we can take Nick, right?
Okay. Let's.
He's he's like, "What do you mean? Where are we going? We gotta stay and show them what we think. Gotta let them know the common folk aren't standing for this."
We can't see from here. Let's go near there. Nero's looking around, standing on her tiptoes to try and see somewhere where they might be able to watch better.
Hmm. Give me a. I think give me a talk check with charisma.
Oh.
Hmm. Uh, I don't know about that. I kind of want to just stay in the middle of it. Can't be getting pushed out when the crowd moves. He's looking kind of hesitant. He's looking over where you're pointing. Because you're pointing like to one edge of the crowd, kind of along some of the buildings.
Yeah.
Java's
Um,
gonna tell his friend to be safe and that he's leaving with Nero, whose name he didn't say.
all right. Yeah. He at that point he he looks torn, kind of grumbles a bit, and follows after.
Well, lucky for him, Nero's probably going somewhere that has food.
Right.
Or where she pointed
Um.
is probably near food.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. At this point, sirens have been drawing pretty close, and you can make out the lights uh, coming down the street some distance. Both of you give me exert checks with strength. All right.
See, Avery, this is why you keep increasing exert.
Wow. That was almost a max roll for him.
All right. So, yeah, Java and Arrow are able to shoulder their way through the crowd. Um, it's pushing and pulling different directions as people are rearranging and trying to get vying for position. Uh, some are starting to push, encroach a bit on the barricades towards the spaceport, but the police presence there is heavy enough. They are actually pushing back on the barricades somewhat, and you can hear shouts coming back from the police, although you can't really make out what's what. But you all manage to make it over to one of the sidewalks. Crowd is starts thinning out just a bit over on the side, and you know people are you're going against the tide at this point as people are uh, moving in, piling in from other directions. Like some of them arriving last minute, it seems, just in time for the fun. You guys are still at a point where you would have a front row seat basically to the coming confrontation, though you are still not out of the crowd. Um,
Okay.
you can see you can see further on the direction you're heading that there are some police that are starting to kind of gather. Uh, Looks like a very loose perimeter at the moment, but you see another kind of like a riot police van pull up a couple streets over. You can see off at the distance, and some more riot cops start pouring out.
Does it look at all like the police and whatever military presence has arrived are trying to box them in?
That's kind of what it looks like. The van that just pulled up that you're seeing off in the direction you were headed.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really started closing in yet, like immediately to box people in, but it looks like they're preparing for that sort of maneuver.
Now, when I say
Uh,
box them in, I actually mean like, are they trying to trap them, or do you mean that they're trying to maneuver them and move them?
I would say it's too early to know what they're going to do at this point, but they're
Okay.
definitely surrounding.
Okay.
They could be prepping for either of those types of moves.
All right. Wow.
So, do you guys want to stick around, kind of here where you are at the edge of the crowd and try to watch, or do you want to maybe try for a bit of distance plus vantage point?
Would it be possible to get up on a nearby building?
Yeah, some of these buildings, they've got walkways that are higher up. Um, they're kind of some uh, grav car pathways that run along the some of the upper stories of these buildings here alongside the spaceport. In fact, there are even grav lanes that run into the port,
Okay.
um, and there is public access to some of those higher walkways.
Okay. Um,
And-
so would it be feasible then for Nero, Java, and Nick to get some food from whatever the nearest source is real quick, and then make their way up to a video recording vantage point?
um, no to the first, but yes to the second. There's not really any food
Aw.
nearby. Um, not in the short time you've got to deal with. It's um, like looks like some of the businesses that would may have been open normally around here have closed early.
What? Why?
I
Okay.
gave him two of the what I labeled protein rice cakes way back when.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, this was for Nero. Nick was just gonna, benefit as as collateral foodage.
Yeah, he
right. Does she want one of the newer rice cakes that probably taste better?
No, if they're the newer rice cakes that he bought from here, then she absolutely does not want them.
Wow. Okay.
She liked the special rice cakes from the Tubukan, the Uralan Pretech facility. Rice cakes otherwise are worse than eating veggies.
all right. So yeah, Nick has managed to tag along, almost bodily hanging on to Java. But now that you guys are in a little thinner part of the crowd, he is kind of hanging out nearby. And he is still chanting along, but uh, his attention is divided between the protest and what the two of you are doing. So yeah, if the two of you are making for the ascent to one of these uh, walkways, he will follow along.
Okay. Nero reports the positioning that she's seeing on the street.
Alrighty. So yeah, as the two of you are ascending, uh, again taking these stairs up to one of these walkways, um, you're having to push past some people here as well. There are a lot of people gawking. Um, and as you get up on the walkway, you're noticing I I guess a higher concentration of apparently better off people who are seems like they've come out of some of these buildings. Looks like there may be some condos that are here placed along the grav lanes and with prime access to the spaceport and other downtown amenities. Um, but not so much that people look askance. Well, a few of them do look askance at a homeless guy, but
Hmm.
nobody does anything drastic. Um, and as you get to one railing to get ready to record, he walks up next. He's looking a little uncomfortable, but as he looks down over with you at the arrival of a couple of riot police vans, uh, not too far ahead of what looks like a military convoy. And as they start unloading, uh, kitted out fully in riot gear, he mutters to where both of you can hear. Well, I guess that was a good idea. That didn't look like anything I needed to mix up with. He kind of scratches himself.
Nero looks over at him, kind of looks at him and nods, and then goes back to focusing on what's out in front of her and on capturing uh, whatever information would be relevant for Cade and Brother Nick. She's also using their I think because we're in public and because we have a hanger on, she's probably using nicknames, short little names.
Mhm.
Nerd for Cade. Um, just checking to see if Robert's here.
Yeah.
um,
I'm here. I just muted. There was just some background noise. That's all.
okay. Boss for or sister for Saoirse. Uh, old man for Brother Nick.
All
Wait, what
right.
was for Cade again?
Nerd.
What about for Java?
Brother.
All right. Did she give anyone a nickname to use for her?
That's entirely up to them.
All right.
She is doing this on the fly. She would normally be just, talking to them with the identities we've established, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like she feels the need to be even more discreet now that we're not only right here in earshot of a person who, may be desperate and easily convinced to divulge information.
What? Not Nick.
As well as people of higher class who might not want someone of her particular appearance or Java's appearance hanging out on their balconies. Well, not quite balconies.
Yeah. And on the sidewalk essentially sidewalk in front of their condo.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's good then. She's taking precautions. So the scene that unfolds below you is one that narrow to narrow it is in some ways familiar,
Mm-hmm.
but also just in a very different context than way she's seen this sort of thing, and uh, frankly, it plays out much better than she might have expected
Hmm.
for the protesters, given her experience with such matters. Uh, the all forms of resistance on Phyllis were put down pretty forcefully. Of course, they were also peppered with a good bit more violent protest
Mm-hmm.
in her recollection. But the riot police uh, form a form up a line, form up a couple ranks, and
Oh.
move forward. Uh, Someone on a bullhorn ordering people to disperse and make way for official transport, uh, warning of consequences if people don't comply. And the protesters put up a pretty firm resistance for the most part. You can see a few people kind of come to their senses and filter off to the sides. And from Nara's vantage point, she can see some riot police closing in from a couple of the sides, but they let people that are leaving, go past them without any trouble.
Okay. She
And
she n- in seeing this, I think she also wants to refocus on kind of if this was a ruse for someone to go and do something to that ship, where would they be? That's kind of what I think she wants to refocus on, to see if she
mm,
can see anything past the riot police, anyone that may have or into the spaceport, anyone that may have slipped past, um, or anything unseemly like that.
got you. Yeah, she thinks that would most likely be happening at a different entrance than this one.
Okay.
Um, but she has an vantage point. She might be able to make out if she got lucky, something like that happening at the next one. Well, the one that she actually just came from. Go ahead and give me a notice check with wisdom.
Hmm.
Mm. She doesn't notice anything that's seems out of the ordinary of that sort.
Okay.
But
Is
mm,
I was gonna ask. I may be asking too much here, but I'll ask anyways, and you can just tell me no. Is she able to kind of keep any kind of track or relocate Mr. Tunnel Snake?
she is not.
Okay.
And in the next few minutes, the crowd thins out a decent bit, and the police start actively pushing against the crowd, and they're actually getting sandwiched from the starport and the street side, trying to basically squeeze them uh, out to the sides, away from the road.
Hmm.
But it looks like the people are being persistent enough, and the riot police are outnumbered enough. They're not really having great success at herding the people out of the way. They're just managing to have some some back and forth pushing, um, and it devolves into a bit of hand to hand in some places as some of the protesters get a little bit more aggressive and they're pushing back. But at this point, another couple vans roll up. More riot police pour out, and a couple of tear gas canisters end up getting launched into the crowd, and that goes a long way towards accelerating the dispersal.
Yeah. Nero's going to move back now.
Yeah.
She can probably handle it, but oh no, she doesn't have that adaptation yet. No,
Mm.
she can't.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
the watchers on the walkways have also at the first firing of one of those canisters, they start dispersing. Some of them muttering, about the ending to their evening. But
Mhm.
yeah, as you move away from all of this, you can see a decent number of people being arrested and taken into custody, as a lot of the rest are forced back and eventually end up dispersing and fleeing.
Yeah. she'll say with the sound of experience in her voice to Java and Nick, uh, we don't want to be in that. Yes, stings.
Nick is nodding knowingly. Yeah, depending on what stuff they use, that can take a long time to get out.
Have you been gassed? Excuse me. Have you been gassed?
He looks like, oops, didn't mean to admit that, but he kind of gives Nero an appraising look, uh, but and just a little guarded says, "Yeah, these sorts of things happen. Get caught up in the crowd or something. Wrong place, wrong time."
Hmm.
Would Nick know anything about art?
That's a great question. Do you want to ask him?
I'm gonna establish that we asked him that. Well, I feel like I got his life story while we were marching in this protest together.
um,
Or any other discernible skills of note.
um, he does not really
Basically,
seem to
I'm
have.
angling. I think Java's gonna like try and advocate to give him a job.
He actually doesn't seem to have any appreciation whatsoever for art. In fact, really has the opposite reaction. Um, but yeah, it sounds like he's actually he's a former citizen of Latavos who ended up hitching a ride to Tabuk one time, having heard how much better living conditions were in general here,
Hmm.
and then discovered the joys of capitalism the hard way. The and very much the bottom rung of capitalism. That's the brief version.
Nero is a little bit suspicious. Can she assess Nick? Um, and try and kind of uh gather his measurements, so to speak. You know, how how he walks, how he moves and handles himself. Does he look like if a punch were thrown his way, that he would just take it uh, by intent, or
Hmm.
would he fold? You know, what can she assess about this guy?
Give me a notice check.
Right? With dexterity, right?
Not on your life.
Oh, Nero, come on.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I know. It
She's all
happens.
noticed out for the evening, apparently.
She is.
Let's see this.
She's still kind of shaken from I think from seeing how not how it played out, but seeing how she thought it was going to play out.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so I think maybe she's even though she's suspicious, she's still seeing him as a harmless victim.
Hmm. Yeah, he seems definitely worse for the wear. Um, has most of the hallmarks of a typical homeless person, and including the smell, as you've been privileged to discover firsthand. Uh, and yeah, as he's following you along, he does he does ask Java if he's got any more, if he's got any more food that he wouldn't mind sharing, since that was a pretty harrowing experience. He
Nero
could
interrupts
probably.
him. We're going to get food.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a great idea. And then he kind of he makes just a little kind of half-hearted show of reaching for a wallet, and then I don't know if I can afford much. Where where are we
The,
going?
Nero's leaving this part of the conversation to Java. She is focused on finding where she can get food.
Oh, Java's just gonna be like, don't worry about that. But also, I have the good stuff. And he hands him one of the newer rice cakes.
Oh no!
And he
Oh wait,
shares it with him, split in half.
now by newer you mean the ones that he got here on planet,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Were those not the ones that he gave him before?
No, he gave him the other ones, the protein
Oh,
ones.
He gave
oh
him the
boy,
good
okay.
ones
Man, he gave him the
before.
really good ones. Two of the good ones to a homeless guy. Wow.
Oh, and then he gave him one more of the good ones. Mislabeled, of course.
Got you. All right. Very true. Um, then we will leave the session on that suspenseful note. As Nick the homeless man crunches into one of the Tabukan rice cakes.
And breaks a tooth.
And scene.
The spaceport explodes.
Oh boy. So yeah, that will do it for our session. Let's go ahead and everyone can take an XP,
Woo!
and we'll get faves. Oh, excuse me. All right. And I am first. I think that my favorite is definitely. I think my favorite is definitely the. I'll just say Becky the protester. That was really fun, and just riffing off of Ethan's little performance was pretty fun. Danielle, what about your favorite? All right, we'll pass on her for the moment. Dex.
Gotta give it to this little
Dadgummit.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I was talking. I just didn't realize I was muted. I'm sorry.
So what
That's
was your favorite?
concerning. My favorite was Saoirse and Cade's board messaging.
No,
It
you
was
can't have
lovely.
that. That's my favorite.
Nope, too late. I named it first. That's it.
All right, Dex, how would you describe that?
War and Peace, Pride and Prejudice.
Emma.
Wait,
Emma?
does that
Okay.
make Cade Mr. Darcy or Mr. Bingley?
I don't
Oh
know.
no.
I really don't know.
And yeah, there was a lot of conversation going.
It was
I
cracking
know,
me up when he talked about Saoirse being a marriage of convenience, and she's like, "Excuse you, I'm not confirmed, Mary. I'll have you know."
I think my favorite
I'm
part
already
of that,
hating.
if I were to pick one part of that, is he might even start twitching.
It did appeal to Saoirse's chaotic inner being.
All right. We'll take it. Ethan, what was your favorite for the session?
The Nick-based identity theft.
The what?
Got replaced with a homeless
Oh.
man.
I'm sorry. Went so much further than I meant it to.
Oh, this was beautiful.
Let that be a lesson to you.
And then it's gonna turn out that he was the emperor who had decided to check in on this protest,
Oh no.
seeing what it was like for the common man, and this rice cake is what'll turn it all around. Because you gave me not just the all right rice cake, but the best of your rice cakes. I'm ending the war and changing the culture of
Well, that all tracks because the good rice cake came from the Uralan pre-tech facilities, and the bad rice cakes come from Tabuk. So, I mean, I know which one I would support.
I don't know. Maybe that would drive the war effort.
I was
Maybe
gonna say,
maybe
now he's like, we have to conquer it because they have the
we
best
have
rice
to
cake.
reshape this planet to only produce rice cakes.
This planet, which is known for medical supplies.
Medical schmedical. We need rice cakes. Stat.
Rice cakes are medical.
It's like, these rice cakes are medicinal. Read into that however you will.
All right, we're 9 minutes over. Go.
Robert.
It's hard. I definitely lean towards the Saoirse and Cade board messaging while this war protest, war and peace stuff is going on at the same time.
In typical millennial fashion, we were memeing while the world was ending.
Yeah, the world is on fire and we're just memeing.
Yep.
From the hotel.
Sending each other Snapchat selfies.
Snapchat selfies. Wow, I really was missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it all together into the text roleplay channel as a bit of a recap. It is not edited, just copy and paste, so it's
That's fine.
Easier to
Nice.
track and read.
You will need to read though that when Saoirse finally sees Cade's message about like, you know, if he tries to force me into marriage, I'll need a marriage of convenience. So, you know, get ready. Or you'd have to marry me fast or something. She literally snorts her coffee and spews it out of her mouth at the same time. And that's when she discovers that coffee burns in your nasal cavity. So, and then she uses her telekinesis to try and get the coffee out of all of the linens that it was spewed onto. So, yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, I was trying not to laugh too loud. I muted myself a couple times.
Oh boy.
Makes me feel good.
That is rich. I'm glad you guys had some good fun there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely catch up later.
Yeah.
Avery, what was your favorite?
In short, I'll do the hand wave imagination rainbow. But the whole I was just writing my recap and thinking, yeah, what's Java doing in this protest even? He probably talking to people because that's stuff Java would do. And
That's a Java thing for sure.
now he's going to wonder about people with the same name as him. because he found somebody with the same name as Nick. And was like, I wonder if there's another Java. And then it became a thing, and it was beautiful. Touche, Ben.
Well, I'm glad I could deliver. Let's see.
Imagination.
Do I really have to post that to my stream?
Yes, you do. Copy and paste directly as usual.
No. What did he type that's so bad?
It's not that much. So Avery, he mentioned the hand waving, the rainbow imagination thing. So I just put insert SpongeBob imagination meme.
Oh,
Yeah,
by
I
the way,
was
yeah.
just gonna say I definitely appreciated the hand delivered homeless man on a silver platter.
You mean the
I can tell you did.
you mean the hand delivered homeless double agent?
What?
You mean
What?
Emperor in disguise?
Emperor in disguise, yes. I did
Your
enjoy.
face triple crosser.
I'm surprised you didn't have any pallets of bricks lying around, Ben.
Getting can of soup for his family.
Can of Palace of Bricks. Oh,
Sorry, that's a
protest
BLM
reference.
protest reference.
Oh, I'll go ahead and end the stream here.
Sounds good.
Good call.